What's cracking? We're back again with this week's narrative. Noah, hit that intro. All right, this week's narrative. You should be willing to blow your FAAB in Dynasty. And FAAB is the way you should play in all leagues, right? But it's a little bit different when it comes to Dynasty because in Dynasty, you're basically playing like 30, 28, at least 28 to like 35 man rosters. So it's slim pickings on the waiver wire, right? So the way that you approach redraft FAAB is like you want to be pretty conservative. You bid like a couple bucks here and there for guys that you think will start for you. But in Dynasty, like trying to get starters off the waiver is like very, very hard because what happens is like the backup running backs are owned, the backup to the backups are owned. You got like
there's a punter owned, like a guy you've never heard of is picked up.
Yeah, like you got backup tight ends being rostered. You got like wide receivers who aren't starting, who are rostered. So it's a very different game. So when someone comes onto the waiver wire and they have a shot of starting for you, someone like a Mike Davis who might not have been rostered, right? Like you're basically blowing like I'm blowing like all the FAAB. Like when Travis Fulgham was available in our BBB league, I basically dropped like 60% of our FAAB. Whereas like if you compare that to redraft league, you're probably spending no more than like $10, maybe $15 on him. But in Dynasty, like trying to get these guys, the way I view it is like if you can turn a guy that you grabbed out the waiver for a third round pick, that's money, right? So if I can blow like 60% of my FAAB to get that, I'm doing it 100% of the time. If you can get someone that's like you can flip for a second round pick, I'm blowing 100%. Right. So early on, James Robinson, guys like Miles Gaskins, like once they started seeing the starting role, I was blowing like all the FAAB across all of these on them. So that's kind of how I approach it. I don't know. Do you like have a more conservative approach or how do you think?
No chance, Mike. I'm probably more like head over heels in love with just putting out $100 whenever I have the chance than you are. I mean, looking at the waivers right now in one of my leagues, these are the top options for you guys. Kenny Amendola, Anthony Ferguson, which I guess is a decent pickup right now if Johnny Smith's hurt, Ryan Izzo, Noah Brown, Hollywood Higgins, LaShawn McCoy. Like, it's a wasteland. If you ever see a guy like James Robinson have like 4 carries, drop 100 FAAB. If you see Myles Gaskin out there getting a bunch of carries, 100 FAAB. It doesn't matter. FAAB is like in season FAAB. If you see anybody getting any sort of opportunity that's legit, drop all your FAAB on them because the chances that in week 8 you spending all your FAAB in week 1 messes up with pickup in week 8. It's extremely, extremely thin. There aren't going to be any quarterbacks on the waiver wire. Andy Dalton's not going to be out there for you to pick up. Jeff Driscoll's not going to be out there for you to pick up. Nobody is dumb enough to let those guys go undrafted after a 30-round startup. As you were saying before, even a guy like JaMychal Hasty is probably rostered. And to your point of picking up a guy that turns into a third-round pick, go out right now and send a trade offer of $100 FAAB for a third-round pick. I guarantee you it gets denied. So if you pick up a guy who can net you a third-round pick for like $60 FAAB, go out and do it because nobody values FAAB until there's a guy worth spending FAAB for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Travis Fulgham is probably taken, but like JaMychal Hasty is probably like a good one to pick up in Dynasty. Like Mike Boone, I would check if he's out there. Boston Scott, but I would not waste FAAB on guys like Amendola, right? Like these guys, even if they like have a game, you're not going to sell them for a fourth because like those guys have no value. What you want with these like FAAB, what I target with these FAAB things is like guys who I think I can actually flip for picks later on. So like Travis Fulgham, like he's not going to ever net you like a first round pick, but like a third round pick, very well within reason, especially if he keeps on playing and you're a rebuilder and you bid $60 on Travis Fulgham and you flip him for a third round pick. That's a huge W for you because that's another dart. That's more ammo for you to trade up and down in your second round of the rookie drafts next year, which you will definitely want to do. But yeah, so that's kind of the FAAB strategy. When it comes to Dynasty, don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. You got to just blow it all. Just look for, if there's a guy that comes on that you think is going to have value, blow it all.
Yeah, and for in-season FAAB, we have a waiver wire article that comes out every week, patreon.com/BDGE. You can find it there, where I tell you guys to spend $100 on guys like Mike Davis and Justin Jackson, which has worked out decently thus far. So if you're interested in that, go for it. But this is a Dynasty channel. As we're saying, just blow all the FAAB you can if you have the opportunity to do so. Maybe trade for like $60 FAAB for like a bum and then pick up Travis Fulgham for $160 just to like show the league that he's really worth it, or $101 just to like be like, hey, you couldn't have gotten him because you only have 100.
Yep, blow it all, guys. Don't be frugal when it comes to FAAB and Dynasty. And that's all we got for you guys. If you like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Talk shit to Noah, talk shit to Nick, talk shit to me. We appreciate it. We love it when people take the time out of their day to dig through all of our old tweets and just like it and retweet and tag us. Honestly, I'm glad you guys have us in your mind. I'm definitely not thinking about you. So good to know that someone's thinking about us. So please keep doing that if you can. We truly appreciate it. We love trolls. We love appreciation. We love everything. So we love engagement. So just engage with us, good or bad. All right. That's all we got. See y'all next week on next week's episode of Narrative.